Hello, my name is Jennifer Bullard, and I'm going to share with you a company called Simply Clean that I created. This first thing we're looking at is our Access database. I'm just going to show you real quickly where the data for the rest of our presentation comes from. This is where all of the client and customer phone numbers were imported from. This is where all of the services and the job types were imported from as well. I created a couple special queries in order to bring in the purchase information that I needed for my tables and for my charts. And now I'll just show you real quick some of my forms that are just going to show you that color scheme that I've started with is going to be a shades of purple color scheme, and that will be throughout my entire presentation. And next we're going to go to my Excel files. The first workbook we're going to open is called a Simply Clean Pivot Table book. Now I imported my purchases table from my Simply Clean database, and then I used that table to create another table and sorted by date, and then I used the if function to show if the earnings that day are low, medium, or high. I then created a pivot table that shows the earning by date that can be sorted by the income level. As a business owner, it's important to be able to sort earning information in order to find patterns and predict future earnings. I also created a pivot table that sorts the purchase information by job type and services provided. Now, this is the information I used to create the charts that I wound up embedding into my PowerPoint presentation that we'll look at a little bit later. Now, the next workbook we're going to open is the Total Sales Workbook. And this workbook breaks down all of my earnings since the business began in August of 2014. We're going to go ahead and update that as it's a linked workbook to the Purchases Workbook. And the reason I chose to display two partial years in my business, as you can see here, is because my business is relatively new and does not have a full 4 quarters in a year to report. In this type of business, the cleaning and service business, generally you are busier in the spring and summer than you are in the fall and winter. But I wanted to paint a picture of what an entire fiscal year could look like. And although none of my quarters overlap yet, when they do, you could use this information to compare sales from quarter to quarter to see if your business was growing. Now, the final workbook I'm going to show you today is going to be my Customer Contact Workbook. This is the workbook I used to create it from my Customer Contact query in my Access database. I imported the data from the special query that I ran in the Access database that I needed for a mailing. And then I set up this new customer form that adds to the existing customer table. This form automatically fills in with the date, and then I use define names and data verification to help fill it in properly. Now see if I quickly put in my name and a birth date and an address. You can see the data verification tells me what I need to put in every single box. Okay, then over here it asks for specific information. Is there children under 12? And this is going to be a yes, there is. Are there any pets? If there is any pets, please fill in the additional information. So I will say yes, there is a pet. Please type the species The Bullards have a dog. They are not time specific. You can come any time of the day that you would like. And their next scheduled service is going to be on May 3rd, 2015. Now down here in the notes section, you could put any specific notes, you know, dog treats under the counter, things of that nature. Now, as you fill in all this information, it adds to the customer contact sheet over here, and it also fills out this special little postcard down at the bottom. Now, this postcard can be mailed after you fill out your new customer sheet. Now, it's going to actually save to a PDF file, and the reason I did that is because some of my customers will choose to be email notifications. With smartphones the way they are, most people prefer email to snail mail anyway. So when you push the postcard print, it should open up to a PDF that you can then use to either send the file via email or you can print it. And the next thing we're going to open is my Word document, which is our CIS flyer. I'm going to go ahead and tell it that yes, I would like it to use the database information in my flyer. And as my flyer comes up, you can see that I made sure to use the shades of purple theme that carries throughout the entire presentation. I added a contrasting color here in the star to bring attention to the word now. Try to get some urgency in when you see this. And I added a first name from the Access database with the information on the left, which is a nice text box that's balanced on the right by this picture of the nice ladies telling important secrets there, as well as imported an address field from Access as well. Now you see the entire thing is the purple shade. We have interest with the lines, yet it's uncluttered, it's easy to read. And it's also where I decided to start the logo. You'll see more of the logo in the PowerPoint presentation coming up. I once again continued to use the shades of purple theme in my PowerPoint presentation. I used varying shades of purple as well as different font types in the title slide in order to add some contrast. I was very careful, as you'll see when you go through this, that this is very uncluttered and very professional. I used Smart Art graphics in both slide 3 and 4. Now they have different information that they're given, however, they're in the exact same format and the exact same size, which I think makes the repetition makes the slides easier to understand and interpret. Now we can start the slideshow from the beginning here. And I can show you some of the buttons. Here we have on the title slide with the graphic in the upper right and the letters in the lower left. And then the company information slide where the logo continues over here in the upper right hand corner. And then we have buttons down here you can click to take you wherever you need to go. Now, the professional services, here we have our main cleaning, followed by all of our subtopics. And then over here, I have a return back to company information. Now we can click for personal services. And we have the exact same Smart Art with different information. And we have the return button over here, or we also have a home button over here, which we're going to click this time just to show you how it works. Now we can click on this button for the contact information, which is going to take us here where you see there's another logo in the right hand corner. We have the exact same font and size of font as we did on the title slide for the Simply Clean to kind of bring everything together. And the phone number, the email, and also the clickable website. And here we have click for investment information. Now here we have again the same logo in the upper right hand corner, and here we have some charts and statistics about Simply Clean. These are the charts that I embedded from the Excel workbook we looked at earlier. Now, if we were not on the slideshow portion, you could click on these and that would take you into the Excel workbook where they were made, and you could edit them if you needed to. And these will also update automatically if the information in the Excel workbook is updated. And here we are back at the title slide. Simply Clean, Professional Clean, and so much more. Thank you for watching my presentation.